UvaldeRadio.net, your concert station. That's Gary Kyle, back a couple of years with American Flags. Looking forward to seeing that one live Saturday night. Graff 7A Ranch in beautiful Hondo, Texas. Just a short trip up that a ways from Uvalde. Graff7aranch.com for tickets. They've got the 7-acre maze. They got a hayride. They got pumpkin patch. All kinds of fall family fun for the kids, and live Texas country in the dance barn this Saturday night with Gary Kyle. And guess what I got? I got Gary Kyle on the phone right now. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Thanks for doing this. Now, we're excited, man. You're going to be in Hondo this weekend. So, now, are you? I know your roots are out of Houston. I know you spent some time in Nashville. Where do you live right now? Where are you calling home?
I'm back in Houston now, where I grew up.
How is life? I mean, you got a brand new single, which we're going to play here in a minute. We'll talk all about it. But it's exciting that you're on the road. We're kind of probably past the worst part of the pandemic, right? So everything's kind of opening back up again. Gary, what you been up to for the last year and a half or so that the world's been kind of turned upside down?
Yeah, well, I have 7 kids. For those that don't know, 13 down to 1.
Wow.
And so, man, I've been coaching a lot. We've got basketball, jiu-jitsu, gymnastics, soccer. So, during COVID, I got to spend a lot of time with the kids and hanging out and, homeschooling, 25 Zoom calls a day. I'm glad we're past all that. And but now, music's almost all the way back. Not quite there, but we're getting out, 2 to 3 weeks out of the month right now. So
we got to get back to the 7 kids thing, man. Oh my goodness. So 1 to 13, which means you're going to have probably half a dozen of them in their teens at the same time, if my math is correct.
Yes. Well, when the oldest is in a senior, the youngest will be in kindergarten, and they'll be exactly 2 grades up all the way up.
Oh, my Lord. Dude, did you think this out?
Let me tell you, and I'm going to scare all the gentlemen out there, we had 2 kids after my vasectomy.
Whoa, that is scary news, man. Well, I mean, it's cool that you're a family man. I mean, you're a great artist, songwriter. How does having all that family, how does that affect your songwriting? How does it translate into what your output is? It's got it.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely changed my songwriting because your material, is what surrounds you. Yeah. So, all my songs used to be about drinking and partying, and then, you start having kids and things get different. And a lot of my music has more spiritual tones to it now, and lots of inspiration and lots of drive to provide. College for 7 kids is going to be a little bit of money.
Right on. So everybody go get a ticket. Grab 7A Ranch this Saturday night. Yeah, tomorrow night. These are tough times. Let's be honest, though. Your wife did all the heavy lifting, right?
Well, what's funny is I was a child care director for the YMCA for 7 years, so I'm Mr. Mom. I get the kids ready for school every day. I'm here making breakfast, pick them up after school, which I love. I love that part about my life. My mornings on the ride to school, that's my time. That's daddy time.
Gary, you are, it's a good thing you're married because you're like every woman's dream. I mean, you are a good-looking guy. You're in good shape. Obviously, you have no problem having all these kids. I mean, dude, does your wife know how lucky she is? I've seen your workout pics on Facebook. You take care of yourself, too.
Well, she's right there with me. She's a saint, as you would believe, having 7 kids and putting up with me. So, we both lucked out and found our soulmate. That's all I can say. Very cool,
man. Well, it's so exciting to talk to somebody that's just so happy, in what they've got going on. And of course, you've got this awesome, musical career as well, too. So let's go ahead and talk about what, I guess, for those who don't know, we got Gary Kyle here on the phone. He's playing Saturday night over at Graff 7A Ranch in Hondo. Give us kind of the quick bio. Get us caught up to speed as to what your musical career has been like up until recently.
Yeah, I've been doing it for 16 years full time. I've put out 7 different projects, 7 different albums, and I've had 4 or 5 songs in the top 20 on the chart, and I had American Flags we put out nationally, did really well. I got to tour all over the country right before COVID shut everything down. So, I feel like I'm where God wants me to be, and I'll keep doing music until He tells me to do something else.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, your new record is called Chapter 2, right?
It is.
So when I see an album title like Chapter 2, my first thought is maybe that it's your second record. But you've got a lot of records. Is this are you saying this is a new chapter of your life? And give us the background of what Chapter 2 means?
Yeah, it really is. It's really life after COVID. We'd done so much to get where we were up until that point, and after 15 years of momentum, you really have to start over. You can't start where you were because no one could. So it's kind of starting over. And after COVID, like I said, my view on things that I've done, I've missed a lot of stuff with my kids, and I don't want to do that anymore. So if we're able to drive back for me to see a game, even if I can only stay home for 2 hours to leave for the next show, I'm trying it. I'm doing it. I missed too much time.
Well, I was going to say, man, how do you plan to balance, life on the road, getting out? I mean, you're doing some high-profile shows. I think you just played with Aaron Watson recently, and was it Daryl Worley, I think? You're getting out there, man. What is that like? Again, Mr. Mom, 7 kids, a loving wife. Most of us have a hard time balancing just a couple, of Rugrats. But you've definitely got a fuller plate. What is the game plan? I mean, obviously you got a good support system. What's that like for you?
Right. No, it's good. I tell people all the time, I see my family more than someone who works a 9-to-5 job because Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a lot of times Thursday, I'm home, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Until we leave Thursday, afternoon or Friday morning. So I'm here, and when I'm here, I'm present. I try to be present, not doing something else. So it's been good, man. I'm gone. My kids miss me. I miss them. My wife misses me. I miss her. Keeps things fresh. My wife and I have been together for 17 years, and it's better today than it was yesterday. So
Awesome stuff, man. Hey, well, we played American Flags a minute ago, man, and that song just keeps on giving. So let's quickly address that because that's one of my favorite tunes that came out in the last few years. Obviously, you're a patriotic guy. You're a God-fearing man, a loving husband. What does American Flags mean to you before we get into the new stuff?
Yeah, man, my buddy Derek Holquist and I in Nashville wanted to write a song about freedom, and we were thinking about, when did we feel most free? And we were talking about, when you're like 18 and you have no bills and no kids.
Amen.
And just being light. But that's, we're thinking about small towns. And growing up, where I grew up, everyone had a flag in their driveway. Everybody waved at somebody else. And we've kind of gotten so far away from that. That's what we kind of wanted to highlight, what it was like, at least for us to grow up. And that's what we were thinking.
Isn't it heartbreaking, man? I mean, you're a little younger than me, but it just seems like we've really gotten away from that flag. And again, not to put the flag on this godly pedestal to where, we're worshiping it, but it is a symbol, of the greatness of this country and all the sacrifice. But, it seems like back when we were younger, it was just kind of mostly understood, axiomatic, man. You respect the flag. I mean, that's the way we were raised. And then somewhere along the line, it got kind of cosmopolitan, hip, and chic to kind of destroy it, and to put it down. And it's really, I'm as patriotic as they get. I wouldn't say I'm overzealous, you know what I mean, or what they call a nationalist nowadays. Because now, whenever you're patriotic, you're pegged as some kind of extremist, which is so ironic.
Right.
But what is, I guess, not to shift into too many politics, but, how do you feel like where this country's at and where it's going? Obviously, you think about this kind of stuff.
Oh, all the time, because, I have kids. No, I think we're in a bad place. I think, to use one of my grandma's favorite sayings, I think common sense is no longer common.
Yeah.
And I think we have to fight. It comes to a point. I have a song on this new record. It's called Warship with an A. And it's really about, God convicted me a couple years ago to be more vocal about my faith because of the way things started going. So I've been more vocal. I've always tried to lead with actions, but now we have to speak up. You have to speak up. There is right and wrong, and I think that people have made it okay to say it's not. Like, there's black and white. There's gray in certain areas, but there's definitely black and white in certain areas. And we want to paint everything gray and say things are okay when they're not. And I think that's a bad way to teach our kids. So I'm with you, brother. I think we need to be more vocal about what you believe in.
It is so cool and refreshing to have somebody, that puts it out there, because again, I've always been, that's me, my personal thing. And I don't get too personal on the air, but I will say this. I'm exactly where you are. There's a point where you got to go, you know what? This is what I believe. This is what my faith says. This is, my God is bigger than these problems. And I'm not afraid to say it, Well, anyway, not to get too deep there.
Aaron Tippin, if you don't stand for something, you're fall for anything. So.
Amen. Well, let's go and talk about the new record, man. Give us a scoop on the new material that's out there, and then we'll get into the new single.
Yeah, so Chapter 2 is kind of a culmination. I recorded it at 4 different studios over the course of about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So I did some in Nashville with my buddy Grady, who did Be Your Man. Is actually I cut with Grady, who did American Flags.
Cool.
So you'll be able to hear the kind of similarities in production. And I did I did three songs in Houston that are more country style, like traditional 90s country, I would say. And I have a straight-up Christian rock tune on there called Worship, which is rocking. And, people don't buy records anymore. And I said, why am I going to try to write this whole piece of work when I've been writing all these other tunes that mean a lot to me? Because people only go listen to songs. So pretty neat for me because it's all over the place. There's rock, pop, country, it's everything. But it's what was meaningful to me at that point in my life over the last few years.
Cool. Let's talk about this kind of a Christian kind of type worship stuff. Is that an avenue you think you'd like to take? Or, there is some success in modern worship music, and I think it's a much needed genre as well too. Do you dabble in that? Like, do you perform in church? What led you to kind of take that route?
Yeah, so I was the music pastor of my church for about a year, and the worship comes from I'm a worship to worship, and like God said, you have to be more vocal about this stuff. So I'll always put out, a lot of my stuff has Christian undertones and it's straight country music, but this was one of those where I felt like I needed to show people exactly where I stand. And I'll probably put out one of these tunes on every record. And I actually have a project in the works called We Believe. And I'm going to have guest artists. We're probably going to do 10 songs with 10 different guest artists with all these Texas guys that aren't afraid to stand up and speak out.
Nice.
And I have some pretty big names. Lots of number one people out there that want to speak out. And I think it's time to. Like we talked about, you just have to. Have
you got any names you want to drop, or is that not going to be cool?
I could say a few. We've talked to Bree Bagwell and Jody Booth and TJ Brotzkoff, Jake Bush.
What about Curtis Grimes?
Number one.
Curtis on there, right?
I don't know Curtis.
Oh,
I've never talked to Curtis.
We got to hook that up. I'm sure he'll jump at the opportunity. Here I am playing manager, but man, that's exciting stuff, dude. I'm looking forward to that release, and we have a cool gospel show on the station that we're gonna try to get that on there as well too. But again, guys, we're talking to Gary Kyle. He's performing tomorrow, Saturday night, 7 p.m. I think is what the website says at Graff 7A Ranch in Hondo, and get your tickets at graff7aranch.com. Let's talk about the live show now. First of all, are you back out there with a full band? Are you doing mostly kind of stripped back stuff? And as far as what are you doing out there on the road, and what are you bringing to Hondo?
Right. So, man, it kind of depends because every area of the country is, open or not open or halfway open. So you have to kind of dictate what you're taking to those shows. But we'll be full band in Hondo. Full band. Be a rocking good time. We'll do a bunch of, my tunes and throw in an occasional 90s country tune or 80s rock tune or an old Motown tune to go with it. But we're, for the most part, we're back full band on the road.
Very cool, man. So are you bringing any family with you? I mean, the Graff 7A Ranch is a great place for family. I don't know if I'd want to keep track of 7 kids, in a corn maze, but if you're a brave man.
I wish. We've got 2 soccer games and gymnastics and basketball and jiu-jitsu on Saturday. So
wow.
Unfortunately, my wife will be taxiing them around all day long.
I don't know how you do it, man. You are an amazing, amazing individual, sir. You guys are awesome. Well, again, Gary Kyle, man, it's been really cool talking to you. What else do we need to know, man? What's in the future? Got any cool, standout, high-profile gigs that you want to brag about, or anything cool that we need to learn about?
Lots of cool gigs coming up. Starting next year. I think, people realize that it's open, so I love doing the big songwriter shows with the big songwriters. A lot of guys in Nashville have a lot of tunes. And then, the video for Worship will be coming out, which will be controversial to say the least.
Wow.
I feel like poking the bear, and by the bear, I mean both sides.
Excellent, man. That's good. Hey, real quick question before we get into the new song. Now, because the holidays are coming up, got to ask this because you're a family man with 7 kids. What are the holidays like, man, with a family of 9? What's the plans for?
Amazing.
Halloween. You got Thanksgiving, Christmas. Give me a snapshot of what this all looks like.
Well, my wife did something wrong when we had our first kids, and she's this amazing artist, and she can build anything and sew anything, so she makes costumes.
Wow.
So she starts early, and they request these crazy things for Halloween, but Christmas is my favorite time of year, obviously, with this many kids, and besides having to stay up all Christmas Eve putting stuff together, it's the most amazing time ever, and just to see And my kids know the real meaning of Christmas, which is the most important thing.
Yeah,
so,
very good.
And we share. So before Christmas, we make them clean out their toy chest to give toys away to make room for new toys. So it's just amazing to see how amazing people are, and that's a great season for giving.
I love people that love Christmas. Have you ever considered doing like a Christmas song or a Christmas album?
I have a Christmas song out. We did 2016 maybe.
Okay.
It's called Christmas Wish, and it's about a boy writing a letter to Santa to ask him to bring his daddy home from fighting overseas.
Nice. Wow. Will you do me a favor and get me a copy of that, or tell me where I
got it?
I don't mind dropping a couple of bucks to buy it either, but yeah, I'm getting the Christmas music all sorted out for the holiday season too. So very cool. I'm excited to hear this, man. That's awesome. Well, Gary, man, it's been really cool talking to you. Let's go ahead and really quickly address the new single, "Be Your Man." Tell us about it, and then we'll get it on the air. Okay?
Yeah, "Be Your Man." It's a song I wrote with a buddy in Nashville, Chris Beard, and we were talking about what we like about our wives and what makes them the ones we want to be with forever. And I tell my daughters all the time, it's not what you see on social media. It's not the duck-faced lips and the clothes and this. It's someone who wants to hold your hand when you're sitting in the car. It's someone who wants to show you off to their friends, someone who loves you unconditionally. And that's really what the song is about. I tell people all the time that women are stronger than men. And if a woman loves a man the way that they're supposed to, a man will always take care of that woman. And that's what I try to tell my daughters. And that's what the song's about.
Again, Gary Kyle, man, tomorrow, Saturday night, 7 p.m., Graff 7A Ranch in Hondo. Get your tickets at graff7aranch.com and check out his new album, Chapter 2. And let's go ahead and do it. This is Be Your Man, Gary Kyle, on UvaldeRadio.net. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me, bud.
Angel kisses on your skin, your emerald eyes, the way they draw me in. Ain't your Coke bottle curves or the vintage in your style, the way you say my name even though it drives me wild. It's that high in the sky, deep blue sea, sunrise, sunset, way that you love me. It's that red, white, and blue, 4th of July, sparks flying, kisses that light up my night. Listen, hold me up, lay me down, velvet touch, feeling hands that make me wanna be your man. Now you still take my hand every time we go driving. Don't need no radio as long as you're beside me. The way you make me feel like I'm the only one in the room, even though I know every eye's on you. It's that high in the sky, deep blue sea, sunrise, sunset, way that you love me. It's that red, white, and blue, 4th of July, sparks flying, kisses that light up my night. Listen, hold me up, lay me down, velvet touch, feeling hands that make me wanna be your man. You're my get up, my don't quit, fighting till the very end. A love I believe in, the reason my heart is beating still feels like I'm dreaming with you. It's that high in the sky, deep blue sea, sunrise, sunset, way that you love me. It's that red, white, and blue, 4th of July,